His Excellency Kwame Owusu-Danso, welcome to the Gods in Prague podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, I am very happy to have you on this podcast. I think I've been trying to have you on here for a very long time, but I believe there's always time, and this is obviously the right time for us, so welcome.
Thank you very much. It's such a pleasure to be here.
It's my honor to have you here.
Thank you.
And I would like to start this interview by saying congratulations on your nomination as the vice presidential candidate for the Movement for Change, which makes you the youngest. Can you?
Yeah, makes me the youngest, ever in the history of Ghana.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a big move.
Thank you very much.
And before we even get into your story, I think that is a very, it's a new paradigm shift because I think in Ghana, we always have a saying that life begins at 40.
Yeah.
Are you 40?
Yes.
Okay, congratulations.
So my life has begun.
Exactly. And it has begun with a very important assignment.
Absolutely.
And I think you have been a very important advocate for the youth.
Yeah.
So for Mr. Honourable Alan Tremantin to trust in you as young as you are, that you are capable, I think that is a very good paradigm shift, not only for all the youth of the country, but also for people who come from a certain background as you, which is not necessarily political background. So I would like to start then with the first question, that going a little bit back into your background, who was Kwame Owusu-Danso to now Honorable His Excellency Kwame Owusu-Danso? How was your childhood background like?
Yeah, well, thank you very much. I come from a very humble home. My dad was a police officer.
Okay.
My mom was a trader.
Right.
I'm the last born out of 4.
Okay.
2 boys, 2 girls.
Right.
So I'm the last of the 4.
Okay.
Before being nominated as the running mate to His Excellency Alan Tremantin, I was the morning show host on Pan-African television.
Right.
I also was the general manager for corporate and legal affairs for one of the biggest real estate companies in Ghana, and perhaps West Africa.
Nice.
Called Trasaco Group.
Okay, great.
And also a youth activist, a serious patriot.
Right.
And with the firm belief that if young people are introduced to politics at an early age, we may be able to change the political narrative that we have in Ghana at the moment.
Right.
And then a family man.
Okay.
And also a philanthropist.
Right.
I care about the have-nots because I've been there.
Right.
I give a lot when I can.
Yeah.
And I try to live a very positive and simple life.
Right.
Try to do the best that I can. Yeah. So that's.
I think also all the achievement that you've had so far, that is a very beautiful portfolio that you have, and you have obviously done very well for yourself.
Thank you.
The idea about the whole Gods in Prague podcast is to share inspiring and motivating stories like yours, to encourage and also inspire people to believe that everything is possible. Because now when you are saying all the things that you have been able to accomplish, and all the things that you are about to also accomplish, it almost seems like impossible for people coming from, let me use the word, disadvantaged backgrounds. So the reason why I wanted to make sure we get your story right here is to also tell a lot of other people that everything is possible if you set your mind to it.
Yeah.
So even you have had a very wonderful and beautiful transition from music to law, media, and now also vying for the highest, almost like the second highest office of the country. It hasn't happened often before. So what do you think are the principles that have guided you up until now, where you are now?
Well, first of all, I think that it's a journey that started out as passion.
Okay.
And a driving force for what I believe in, and culminating into this possibility of perhaps changing, the political landscape. And I say that, it's just about having the drive and the passion and the zeal,
Right.
and the firm conviction of what you believe in.
Yes.
Passion drives possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And possibilities can only be achieved if you set out and you are very focused to achieving those possibilities.
Yes.
So the transition really is also by reason of what I've always wanted to become.
Okay. Okay.
I've always wanted to impact lives,
Right.
impact society.
Right.
I've always wanted to be a symbol of hope.
Right.
To
Right.
The younger generation. I've always consistently, without fail, tried to lead an exemplary life.
Yes.
So that others can take comfort in the fact that no matter where it is that you come from, no matter your background,
yes,
it is very possible that you can be who you want to be, provided you work towards it.
Yes. Yes.
So I just wanted to be that torchbearer so that others can get the opportunity. I mean, look, we live in a country where about 70% of the population are within the youth bracket. And it is quite sad that when you have, the young people elect leaders, they don't get the opportunity to have their voices heard.
Right.
Especially
so they don't participate.
in decision. It's especially in decision making. We've had a few young people in politics, but because of the way our politics is designed, the young people who have had those opportunities, oftentimes when they get those opportunities, just pander to the whims and caprices of the people who give them those opportunities, and not necessarily
fighting for the country.
Doing things that will benefit the younger people. So I thought that is a big lacuna that we have to fight and seal.
Yes.
And for me, I thought that being passionate is not enough. You have to actually action on your words.
Yes.
So it is not enough that you would sit on TV to lament and complain as a young person, particularly because you think that the politics that we are practicing must be participatory. Wherefore, young people will have a seat at the table and not just be prevailed upon to go and vote when it is an election period. But also beyond the elections is the fact that their voices are actually heard. And policies are designed around the needs and the aspirations of the young people. So it is that same energy, that same driving force, that same firm belief, and that same conviction that, perhaps catapulted my shared desire, to want to now move beyond just the boundaries of getting the opportunity to sit on TV and to, complain or represent the youth, but also now taking action by partnering with His Excellency Alan Kojo Martin. The good thing about this is that he is old, a little old. And he has intimated quite clearly that he is only a transitional leader. Now, what it means is that he is building us to take over from them. And he's, a towering political figure in this country. He has played his part. He has paid his dues. He's represented Ghana across the world. And so for somebody like that, he could have just simply retired. But it would have been greedy on his part to have just retired without necessarily training people to take over from him. And for me, it symbolizes, a true patriotic human being, one who is not selfish, because, the country has taken care of him. And it is only proper
to give back.
That if you are retiring, you groom people to take over from you so that they can also work to benefit the country that gave you those opportunities. So for me, that is why I decided to take a front row, or a front seat, and not always shout from the back, but also, be that torch that perhaps will brighten, the path for a lot more younger people to aspire and to take action rather than to lament.
Yeah, and I think so. Personally, I was in London when I first saw your nomination. Yeah, and for a moment I thought like, this is a very, very beautiful move from, His Excellency Alan Kojo Chamantin, because, Jack Ma always says something that he wants his company, Alibaba, for example, to live for 102 years, right? So based upon his age right now, he cannot be able to lead the company for that many years because he might not be necessarily able to live for that long. So it is his duty and responsibility to train and groom somebody who can represent or replace him when he's gone. And me personally, coming from business background and stuff like that, that is one of the things that I also aspire to, that as a leader I should be able to train a few people so that if I have to transition, then you know that you are leaving your legacy
Absolutely.
in the hands of somebody that you really try. And
that's the mark of a true leader,
right?
Because to lead is to serve.
Right.
And to serve is to ensure that you replicate, that leadership skills in other people so that they can also serve.
Yes.
So for somebody like that, representing what I stand for.
Yes.
At this level, for me, speaks volumes about who he is, what he stands for, his values, his beliefs, and his convictions. For me, those are very crucial.
Yeah.
Good characteristics of a person, of a true leader, really.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about it.
Okay. So one thing that I also want to ask you, because I think like it seems that you have been able to reinvent yourself in many ways, and then you kind of always like jump into the characters very beautifully and smoothly. But I think like definitely you must have had some challenges, like coming from where you came from to becoming a musician and transitioning into law, which is not a very common practice in Ghana, right? And then also going into media, and now where you are, these are like transitions that have probably not happened before in the country. What are some of the challenges that you faced, doing these transitions?
Well, just like any other young kid growing up in Africa, by extension Ghana, the challenges are the same. Okay. Access to funds or finances to start your business.
Yes.
Limited opportunities. People creating bottlenecks for you, unnecessary hatred, unnecessary enmity, envy. People may think that these are just, but these are very heavy negatives that may pull a person back.
Okay.
Because if you are not strong-willed, if you are not careful, envy, hatred, those things can set you back.
For sure.
Especially when you place so much premium on it, and it takes over it controls your thinking. It may set you back,
right?
Even on the path of growth.
Yes.
Even when you're on the path of growth, it may set you back.
Right.
So these are very fundamental challenges that if you are not careful, But I mean, look, like I said, it's something that is akin to all the challenges that young people face in Ghana.
Yeah.
And so I am not an exception. I'm not an exception.
For sure.
Now, it is not the challenges that makes a man.
Yeah.
It is the lessons that we draw from those challenges that makes a man.
For sure.
So if you are somebody who is very focused and desirous of making an impact, then those challenges should strengthen you.
For sure.
I always have this saying that life is but a journey, right?
Of course.
And that journey has different travelers.
Right.
The journey, you have different travelers on that same journey.
Right.
Each has their junction.
For sure.
And so if you are not careful, you may, and if you follow, the speed maybe at which somebody is driving his vehicle, you may miss your junction.
Right.
And then the person, So I am very, very calculated. So all those challenges, I bottle them up.
Yes.
And I use them as a springboard
Yeah.
to the next level,
Right.
so that I learn lessons from them. I don't make them draw me back.
Right.
So yes, I face those challenges, but I can say that it is the exact same challenges which, in my estimation, have made me what I am today.
For sure.
And have made me very confident.
Yeah.
I know people a lot more now. I know how to deal with people.
Right.
I know how to address different temperaments.
Yes.
I know when to react. I know when not to react. I know when to laugh.
Okay.
I know when not to laugh.
Right.
And so these are all the challenges, in my estimation, which this is as a result of all the challenges that I face.
For sure.
That is why I'm able to do what I'm doing. The transition is also by reason of passion, and the zeal to do something different. That there are limitless possibilities in Ghana.
100%.
And those possibilities can only become a reality if you are very focused.
Yes.
Because look, I wasn't born into a rich home.
I believe.
I've had to struggle for everything that I have.
Yes.
So it means that if we're able to do things right in this country, a lot more people, a lot more young people can actually dream and aspire to do better things.
For sure.
For me, the transition really is born out of my desire to serve.
For sure.
I can say that because and also I manifest, I manifest things a lot. I manifest. I actually tell myself things, and I always have positive thoughts. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
But I always engineer my mind to think positive things.
Right.
I don't engineer my mind to think negative things.
Right.
So even when I am in, some deep hole,
yes,
I try to think myself out of that hole.
Right.
And use that as an avenue to grow.
Exactly.
So the transition really wasn't too difficult.
For sure.
And also because I've had people who have really helped shape my journey.
100%,
for me.
100%.
My mom, my wife is a typical example. The family in which I was married into.
Yes.
Or I'm married into.
Yes.
Have all helped shape my journey for me.
100%.
So indeed, of course, even though ultimately a lot of the decisions rest on my shoulders.
Yeah.
The decisions that I've taken is also one that should not affect the family. And so whatever it is that you're doing, you are clear in your mind, you are very focused, you are very direct about the things you do, because you don't also want your decision to affect other people.
For sure.
So I think that generally that is what the transition has been.
So how have you been able to stay humble? I've seen some of your videos when you have been traveling around Ghana, visiting the marketplaces, and even some of these places that you go, there might not necessarily be like nice facilities and stuff like that, but I've seen you kind of like go a little bit deeper into the trenches to kind of like get closer to the people, see what they are feeling, and also like try to dig a little deep into what do they want as a people, like what do they expect from you when you finally are able to get the mandate, right? So for a person like you, coming from the type of background that you come from, to be able to be here where you are now, it is very easy to have a lot of ego, which you deserve to have a little bit ego because you have almost done the impossible. But how do you manage to stay humble then?
Ego is the enemy of a man's progress.
That's a good philosophy.
And humility is inbuilt. Sure. I think if you're humble, you're humble.
Sure.
You don't need riches or anything for you to be humble or otherwise.
Yes.
Oftentimes they say that when a man makes money, that is when his humility is tested.
Sure.
Why should I have ego? Why should I deal with people differently? I'm human. This is life.
Sure.
The fact that you've had opportunities and which opportunities have brought you here does not make you a better human being than the person who had no opportunities.
For sure.
Perhaps if those people had opportunities just like you, perhaps they would have been far better than you.
Maybe.
And again, if you want to lead, you have to serve.
For sure.
I don't know how to put it. You don't need to pretend to demonstrate humility.
Yes.
You have to feel what the people feel. to be able to now appreciate, where you are, juxtaposing it with their own situation.
Right.
And then I have been there. I understand the plight of the people.
Yes.
I understand their cries.
Yes.
I understand their deepest and lowest moments.
Yes.
I identify with their feelings.
Yes.
And for me, I see them as me, and I see me as them.
Sure,
you understand?
Sure.
Because it is this is me. This could have easily been me.
Yeah.
So why then do you want to act differently, or speak to them differently, or behave differently towards them because you have an opportunity?
Yes.
It's one of the things that I actually did not like about politicians.
Okay.
Because when people queue to go and elect you as their leader, first, they have confidence in you.
Yes.
Secondly, they believe that you have their interest at heart.
Sure.
Thirdly, they believe that you want to further advance their aspirations. So if they go out to vote for you, it's not because you are an exceptional human being, because they believe that you can help them.
Right.
All right? You are going to do things that will better their lives.
Right.
So when they vote for you, you should be appreciative of the fact that the people have actually given you the honor and the privilege of serving them.
Sure.
It is not a right. It's a privilege that you have had. Okay? And that privilege must come with responsibilities. The responsibility of feeling the emotions of those people.
Right.
And charting a path of progress for those people.
And hope.
Giving them hope, restoring hope and confidence in them.
Right.
So I will go, look, sometimes my team, they are shocked. I said, this is who I am.
For sure.
If I have to dance with people because they see you and they are dancing. Look, I mean, you go to places, the music is playing, the people start dancing, and then you want to flex? No. So I come down from the car. Sometimes the people are even surprised that, boss, your security. I said, listen, if these people will kill, if the people that I want to serve will kill me, so be it.
Right.
But I don't want to see myself, I don't want to put myself in the upper echelons. Or I want to sit in some ivory tower.
Right.
And then looking down on the people and saying that it's me against them, or it's them against me. No, I can't do that. If they are dancing, I will dance with them. If they are singing, I'll sing with them. If they are playing football, I'll play football with them.
For sure.
If you have to join, trot, I'll do, because I've done that before.
For sure.
Where I am now does not take away who I was or what really, what sort of person I am. It doesn't take away from. It doesn't take anything from me if I do those things with the people.
Right.
So I will continue to do them. I'll continue to remain humble. I'll continue to be who I am, be the selfless human being. I'll continue to laugh and play draft and do all the things with them. I'll do that.
God bless you for that. God bless you for that. So I think, I know you are still on the campaign trail and you don't have so much time. So there's one more question that I want to ask you, because I think for a lot of people who might be watching this or probably not, I think most of them are still Kwame from the way back, and they might probably be sitting somewhere in a very far distance place right now with not so much of hope. If you would have a little advice for younger Kwame, what advice would you give them?
My younger Kwame?
Yes. And all the other people who are like your younger Kwame.
There are no boundaries to how far you can go.
Sure.
And there are opportunities which may not appear as opportunities.
Sure.
But you need to create those opportunities. Sometimes we are waiting for the right time to act. But the right time will never come unless you make a move.
Sure.
The journey that you have to embark upon only begins but with a step.
Sure.
And until you take that step, you will not know how far it is that you have to go.
100%.
Yeah. So I think that the depth of your struggle as you journey on will eventually determine the height of your success, and will define the extent, of progress that you would eventually make.
For sure.
So I want to encourage young people that, you don't need to lose hope.
Yes.
You have to have that conviction that you can do it. you know, and again, one of the fundamental things that I really want to draw our attention to is for us to be active partakers in our political exercise.
Right.
Because if we sit on the fence all the time and we complain, nothing will get done.
Sure.
If we say that I'm not interested in politics, if you say that I'm not going to vote, someone else will go and vote to choose a leader that you don't like. That leader will take decisions that will ultimately affect you.
Yes.
So we must all be interested in who leads us.
Right.
I want to tell the young people of this country that we don't need to hate ourselves.
Sure.
That the fact that a young man like me has been given the opportunity should not offend you.
Yes.
You should rather be happy that one of yours has been given the opportunity,
and the door is open,
and the glass ceiling has been shattered, and a lot more young people will be given those opportunities to also make an impact.
Sure.
Be happy for your fellow young person.
Yes.
Support your fellow young person.
Right.
I think that we've gotten to a point where we must do away with partisanship and put on the cloth of patriotism.
Yes.
Because if we continue to follow political parties and support them, even to the point of death, then the country will burn invariably. Because then we will not be independent-minded people. We will not be in control of our thinking patterns.
Yes.
We will only think, within the context of what benefit your political party.
Yes.
But we must move beyond that and think about what should benefit the good people of Ghana. Today, the NDC and the MPP have been in power for, if you put them together, for 32 years.
Right.
And it's been the same.
Yes.
It's been the same. 16 years of the NDC, 16 years of the MPP.
Yeah.
All right? And we know what they have done over the period.
For sure.
Why is it difficult for us to say that, look, let us have a different kind of leader who will change the fortunes of the young people? If you travel outside of Accra and you see some villages, you see some communities where they are struggling to get water to drink, where they are struggling to get clinics, where they don't even have network,
right.
You will weep.
Yes.
And so you can't sit in Accra and support political parties blindly.
Yeah.
Because you have not had the opportunity of experiencing what people are going through in those communities.
Sure.
You cannot sit in Accra, you cannot sit in Kumasi, in the regional capitals, and then make pronouncements, which pronouncement will, you think, benefit you and your political party.
Right.
We don't. Why do we vote? We vote for transformation.
Yes.
We vote for development. We vote for progress.
Right.
So, and then you vote not for yourself only. You vote for posterity.
Sure.
You vote so that decisions will be made, which decisions will benefit you, your children, and your children's children.
Sure.
But if you vote because you think that, I was born into this political party, and so no matter what the political party does, I'll still support, then Ghana will never progress.
True.
You vote, people say, as for me, even when you put a goat as the presidential candidate on the ticket of the MPP or the NDC, I will vote for the goat.
Yeah.
Goats don't make decisions.
Yes.
Goats don't make decisions. Human beings make decisions.
100%.
So for me, if you are going to vote to elect somebody, it's just once in 4 years. It is an opportunity for you to carefully
make a decision.
Look through the leaders.
Yes.
Look at the policies that they have designed. And then vote.
Yes.
Don't vote because your father said you should vote for NDC or your mother said you should vote for MPP.
Right.
Vote for the future of this country. Vote for development. And that is why, for me, out of the many, the three that stand tall, Alan Chematin, Bawumia, Mahama,
right,
I will tell you without a doubt that Alan Chematin stands tall.
Yes.
And that is why I decided that I was going to support it, because he has policies that will benefit both the young and the old.
For sure.
And so I want to end by saying that young people must make decisions that will benefit them.
Yes.
And generations yet unborn.
Yes.
And not because of how much they have been given or what they will be given.
Right.
Today, if they are going to vote, that is when they remember that they have young people that they can go and give money to go and fight and cause mayhem so that they can become leaders.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But after the 4 years, after they vote for them, after they create all this chaos, how did we get to the point where we hate ourselves to the point that a Ghanaian will pick a gun look at his fellow Ghanaian and shoot.
Yes. Yeah.
That a Ghanaian will pick a cutlass, look at his fellow Ghanaian and slash him.
Because they are different parties.
Because they are different political parties.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But we have one Ghana.
Right.
We can have multiple parties, but we have one Ghana.
For sure.
And this time we should be preaching peace and unity. We should not be dividing ourselves on the lines of politics or partisan politics. It doesn't help anybody.
For sure.
And they use these young people for these kinds of things. My thing is that if you care deeply about the young people, why don't you create opportunities for them to make their money? Because if you make your own money, nobody will come and give you 100 Ghana cedis and convince you to go and kill another person so that he can become leaders. In fact, if you create opportunities for young people, why do you need young people to go and create chaos so that you can become leaders? They will vote for you naturally by design because you would have created those and opportunities for them to make their own money.
True.
So instead of pitching young people against each other, instead of creating unsettling atmosphere, make the young people better, build the middle class. Don't collapse banks and then turn around to cry when there's unemployment. So once the young people have opportunities, believe you me, we'll begin to rebuild our country. And that is why I think that now more than ever before, it has become important that we vote for a leader who is preaching government of national unity. Sure. And Alan Chemanten is the only leader who is preaching government of national unity. Who is kicking against winner takes all, who is saying that it doesn't matter which political party you belong to, insofar as you have the expertise, and insofar as you believe in Ghana, and insofar as you want to do things that will better the lives of the average people or average Ghanaians in this country, we will give you an opportunity to serve in our government. Let's think outside the box a little. Let's not be constricted, with this, in this shackle called partisanship, and think beyond the peripheries of those shackles, and then do better for this country.
I think you have a very important mission, and we, at least from the Godson Pratt podcast, believe that you are the right man for the job, and we wish you all the luck that you can get.
Thank you.
And we also like to say a very big thank you for taking time out of your day to do this for us. We really appreciate it. Do you have some message for the Ghanaian people and obviously people of the world, because this interview is going to go out into the world? So do you have your last message?
I mean, I just want to say that we are all the same, irrespective of where we are. And my message to Ghanaians is that let's not allow ourselves to be used by politicians. Let's not this election be fraught with unnecessary challenges because somebody desperately wants to lead. Let's vote for the right leadership. Let's vote for people who have our interests at heart. Let's vote for people who want to design policies that will benefit us. Let's vote for Alan Chemanten. He's on number 13 on the ballot. He's the last person on the ballot. So when we go to the village, we say Asieho.
Down there.
Thank you very much. Down there.
So His Excellency Kwame Owusu-Danso, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you very much. Okay.
All right.